Recently, Yasmin Alibhai-Brown said she goes into pubs and tells white British people that they need to integrate better with migrants. And honestly, that comment shows just how out of touch with reality she really is. We'll dive into this story in today's video, but before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Right now, only 12% of viewers are subscribed, so join the community and help us grow. Why is the pressure of integration constantly being pushed onto the native population, the very people whose country this already is? Integration has always meant newcomers adapting to the customs, traditions, and way of life of the nation they've chosen to move to. That's not intolerance, that's common sense. Britain has always been one of the most welcoming and tolerant countries in the world. But somewhere along the line, we've gone from expecting respect for British culture to being told we have to change ours. It's completely backwards. We don't have to integrate into someone else's culture. This is our country, our history, and our values. People like Yasmin Alibhai-Brown seem to live in a bubble, detached from how ordinary people actually feel. Most Britons simply want a sense of respect and unity, not lectures from out-of-touch commentators who think patriotism is a problem. Real integration means newcomers embracing the country that welcomed them, not trying to remake it in their own image. Because if people truly want to be part of Britain, then they should celebrate what makes Britain, Britain. And if they can't do that, if they reject the culture and values of this nation, then maybe they need to ask themselves why they're here in the first place. Have a listen to this.
Yasmin, do you acknowledge that one of those points that Emma made about the fact that it puts the social cohesion, that people coming here in large numbers, so she's talking about large numbers.
So you go to the Red Wall. I go to the Red Wall a lot and argue with people in pubs. I do this as a duty, as a journalist, right? And I ask them, what attempt have you, and these are white people, have you made to integrate with those who come into your society? Why is the pressure always on us, the problem people? Why don't we say to more white people, integrate better, especially in those areas?
They haven't chosen to move to another country.
Hang on. I don't interrupt you, so don't interrupt me, okay? Why don't we say integration is a dance?
So
you need two people.
You need two people on both sides.
And only one side gets lectured.
That is a fair point, isn't it, Stephen?
No, it's not.
At the end of the day, Yasmin Alibhai-Brown's comments just prove how far removed from reality some of these so-called commentators have become. Ordinary people are tired of being told they're the problem in their own country. Integration is a two-way street, but the responsibility lies with those who come here, not those who are already home. Britain doesn't need to apologize for its culture or its identity. We've opened our doors, offered opportunities, and shown more tolerance than almost anywhere else on earth. But that doesn't mean we have to bend over backwards or water down who we are. If you choose to come here, you respect this country. You don't lecture it. In other news, Met Police have arrested a total of 442 people in central London today after protesters gathered in support of prescribed terror group Palestine Action. Issuing an update on today's protests, Metropolitan Police posted on social media to say hundreds of people have been arrested. As of 6:30 p.m, officers had arrested 442 people for supporting a prescribed organisation. A different protest group gathered in Whitehall, blocking the road before trying to march first towards Trafalgar Square, then Parliament Square. Officers have intervened. A banner backing Palestine Action was unfurled at Westminster Bridge earlier today. The campaigners from Defend Our Juries initially struggled to get the banners out in the wind, but managed to hold two banners over the north side of the bridge, which read, "I oppose genocide" and "I support Palestine Action." The Met Police said, officers were quickly on scene, the banner had been removed, and the 6 people involved have been arrested for supporting a prescribed organisation. Around 1,500 people, including priests, vicars, pensioners and healthcare workers, are in attendance in the Lift the Ban protest in Trafalgar Square. As police processed more arrests, protesters stood outside the pen and chanted, "Met Police, you decide, justice or genocide." People supporting Palestine Action at the Lift the Ban event have been told not to resist arrest and have been seen following police instructions. Defend Our Juries, which organised the event, said 79-year-old Elizabeth Morley, a Jewish woman and daughter of a Holocaust survivor, is among the 175 to be arrested. The campaign group said this is the third time Ms. Taylor has been arrested at such a protest. Just after 1 p.m., protesters began clapping before sitting down, chanting, "Free, free Palestine." Some began writing, "I oppose genocide, I support Palestine action," while others held pre-written signs. City of London police officers have arrived to support the Metropolitan Police. Dozens of police officers were lined up next to Nelson's Column in central London, awaiting the expected arrival of hundreds of protesters supporting the banned group Palestine Action. Several campaigners from the Stop the War coalition have been seen in Trafalgar Square, holding placards and Palestine flags. The force has continued to urge the group to call off its plans, arguing that the protests are drawing valuable resources away from the communities of London at a time when they are needed most. Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley said, "At a time when we want to be deploying every available officer to ensure the safety of those communities, we are instead having to plan for a gathering of more than 1,000 people in Trafalgar Square on Saturday in support of a terrorist organisation. By deliberately choosing to encourage mass law-breaking on this scale, Defend Our Juries are drawing valuable resources away from the communities of London at a time when they are needed most." A similar event, held by Greater Manchester Friends of Palestine and taking place regularly over the last 2 years, is also scheduled to occur. Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police, Sir Stephen Watson, urged would-be attendees at the protest to consider whether this is really the right time. Police forces have deployed extra officers to synagogues and other Jewish buildings to offer protection and reassurance in the aftermath of the attack. The Prime Minister said events could cause further turmoil for the families of victims and the Jewish communities. Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp said, "The marches, in my view, should be stopped, and I say that for 2 reasons. Firstly, as a mark of respect to the families of the victims in Manchester, and indeed the whole Jewish community in the United Kingdom, who are in grief and shock, as you would expect. The second reason is the police, both in Manchester and the Metropolitan Police in London, have said they don't have the resources to both properly police the protest and also protect the Jewish community and synagogues at the same time. Concerns over the timing come as 2 Jewish men were killed on Yom Kippur 2 days ago in a horrific terror attack in Manchester. A mosque in East Sussex was set on fire by arsonists in balaclavas on Saturday night in a suspected hate crime incident. Emergency services were called to Peacehaven shortly before 10 p.m. last night amid reports that individuals in balaclavas set fire to a car and the steps of the Peace Community Centre and mosque. Police said that arson is a suspected hate crime targeting the Muslim community. 2 people, including an elderly man in his 60s, were inside the building at the time of the attack. Local media reported images from the scene show a man, who is believed to be the mosque's imam, exiting the building to escape the flames. Police have confirmed that no one was harmed during the incident and have increased the force's presence at the scene. The front of the building and a car parked outside suffered damage, Sussex Police said in a statement. Sussex Police Detective Superintendent Carrie Bahana said, "This is a fast-moving investigation, and we are urging anyone with relevant information to report it to us." She added, "This includes anyone with CCTV, Ring doorbell dashcam, and mobile phone footage in the area at the time. We understand the concerns this has caused within the community, and the impact that will be felt by the Muslim community as a result. There is already an increased police presence at the scene, and there are also additional patrols taking place to provide reassurance at other places of worship across the county." Sussex Police takes a zero-tolerance approach to hate crime, and there is no place for hate across the county. A member of the mosque told The Sun the fire was a targeted attack. They added, "There was an attack on the mosque. A few individuals came with balaclavas on and blew up a vehicle outside the mosque and set the front alight. One of the alleged arsonists was wearing a black jacket and a covering to hide their face." Officials from the mosque confirmed the arson attack, writing on their Instagram story that, "Unfortunately, 2 individuals have set fire to a car right in front of the mosque." The mosque statement added, "Peacehaven Mosque will be closed until further notice. The police said if you have concerns for your safety or experience any hate or criminal behavior, please speak to an officer or contact us online or by calling 101. Always dial 999 in an emergency. Thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.